All right, so we just did the upper and the lower quota, and so this example asks us to do the upper and lower quota of the states that we just did. So here's my numbers. Remember, we're going to use the standard quota. So if it's the upper quota, if it's above that number, you round up. So 33, this would be 139. This would be 4. This would be 42. This would be 14. This would be 20, which is a total of 252. All right. Now, if I do the lower quota, same thing. Then this would be 32. This would stay 138. This would stay 3. This would be 41, 13, 19. And that is a total of 246. Okay. Now, the question here, will the lower and upper quotas ever be equal? And that would be, for the most part, no, unless it would be no, unless everything that you rounded or everything that you divided to get your standard quota would have to be a whole number. Okay, so the only time will the lower and upper quotas be equal if the standard quotas are all whole numbers. Are all whole numbers. Okay, that is the only time that the lower and the upper quotas would be equal. All right, so example 4 here. Now, the reason we learn about upper and lower quotas, some of the apportionment methods that we're going to use eventually, we're going to use those on occasion to apportion out the number of whatever. All right, so this one wanted us to basically example 4, pretty much do the same thing. Okay, we got to find our standard divisor. So if you add all these together, you're going to get 1800. So we have 1800, and we're going to divide that by, we have 30 teaching assistants, and so that's going to be 60 students is basically one teaching assistant. Okay. And then what would he do to find our standard quotas? Standard quota. What do? We basically divide each of these by 60. And so if I do that, North should have gotten 6.25. South would have gotten 4.95, 6.8, 5.66, and Central would have gotten 6.33. Okay, for your standard quotas. All right, and then same thing for our last example. All right, same thing for our last example here. Example 4. We need to figure out what our standard divisor is. So we have 900. And we have 200 seats, right? So what is my standard divisor? It's going to be each one of these divided by 200. So my standard divisor is going to be 900 divided by the 200 seats. So it is going to be 4.5. All right. So 4.5. So our population divided by 4.5 is going to give us our standard quota. So for player A, that'd be 125 over 4.5, which is 27.77. All right, this would have been 150 over 4.5, which is our 33.33. We got 350 over 4.5, which was our 77.77. And then we got our 275 over 4.5, which was our 61.11. Okay? All right. And so our normal rounding, this would have been 28. This would have been 33. This would have been 78. This would have been 61 for 200. Our upper quotas, okay, our upper quotas then would have been 28, 34, 78, and 62. Okay, so the first one you got 28 plus 33 plus 78 plus 61 was a total of 200. All right, this one you got 28 plus 34 plus 78 plus 62, and that was 202. Okay. We got 202. And then if we do our lower quotas, that would have been 27. That would have been 33, 77, and 61. So that's 198. So we're 2 below. Okay. All right. So questions there. So the last thing down here would be then, what is what we consider to be a good apportionment? And so a good apportionment is going to be something that produces a valid apportionment, exactly M seats given. Okay? So you want exactly M seats given. So like on this example that we just did, we had 200 seats that we were giving away. So a good apportionment would be that exactly 200 seats were given away. And then a fair, and then the other thing is that we deem that it's fair. Okay? So that chimes into what we did in the last chapter in talking about things getting our fair share. Would people think that this is fair? And so that's what we're going to be learning over the next couple sections and the different methods of apportionment. All right.